certain the day I die. That's my revenge from you hurting me. No back and forth, won't play no get back, live my life behind curtain. It'll be a lie if I say I ain't heard. I'll tell you all this pain ain't burning. Gave you everything you wanted, still don't have to give me nothing. Just want you to tell the truth about when they talk like they was wrong or something. They put a all white flower in my casket before they put me on. I'm gone, you always know I was strong, baby. Yeah, you ain't gotta say you wrong through the night. You just need to hold on, baby. Yeah, and get that money, fuck these niggas, I finesse him and run off on his ass. A nigga cross me, that's a bit, I don't want to talk to his ass. Got 20 shots off in his tech, I let it off on his ass. The one you thinking that I'm with, she say I'm moving too fast. How the fuck you think another nigga gon' be real as I? You should remove what you don't like, I'm keeping mine till I die. And I admit it in your eyes, I was not built for the lie. Never betray, forever wait, won't let my head leave the sky. Get on my knees and I stand and talk to God at night. Swear I'm so scarred, I got nobody but you need on my side. Coming home late and I know that I'm gon' need one night. To the ones I love, cause I'm gone just know I never could die. I'm too strong, you just remember that time goes on, baby. Yeah, never wake up through the night saying that you're wrong. You just need to hold on, baby. Yeah, we all make choices, don't be scared, just believe what it's meant coming to us. Let go your past and be prepared for when that shit run into us. They say that shit we proved the right, but I respect how we doing. You just remember through the night, I pray all well, how you doing? I see my film out through the night, my dreams say mine that I blew it. I turned it wrong, God heart was right, so many drinks I didn't do it. I know my grandma watching me say something, stroke what you doing. Drop to your head real quick and stroke your mind, forever it's touring. How the fuck you think another nigga gon' be real as I? You should remove what you don't like, I'm keeping mine till I die. And I admit it in your eyes, I was not built for the lie. Never betray, forever wait, won't let my head leave the sky. Get on my knees and I steady talk to God.
So you want to break an attack? A degree sounds great, but only if you've got unlimited time and money. Triple 10 lets you keep
the biggest television producer because I'm well known around the world. You couldn't pick these guys out in the lineup. So they can't sway the audience to watch what they're putting out next. Like they just gotta use the traditional means and marketing of the networks to do it. They can't talk directly. I reach about 100 million people through my phone. I don't need Deadline or Hollywood Reporter or these publications to do anything but notify business insiders that they need to bring me the idea. So other production companies will have the idea and say, let's run this across 50 to see if he likes it, because I think it might be something he's interested in. And it connects, and it's how I get to 30 television shows across 10 different networks in a faster time frame that they've seen anything else grow at that point. And then when I said I would become the gateway, and that the concept would be I would be able to place people from not that have huge audiences into areas that don't necessarily credit that audience. Like they can have a gazillion people follow them. They're hot as hell right now in music culture, and it won't mean that they're not even on the list of people that they should make an offer to. You see what I'm saying? And I know that that person means more to the project at that particular point. So I actually get them and put them into something that may allow them to survive themselves later. Because even if they did everything every other artist we know done and burn out on that at some point, if they've worked in between time periodically and on the film and television, that there's a second career. Every athlete you see run up and down the court playing football, they gotta consider a second career. Because they're gonna be there, they're gonna make a lot of money while they're there, but football is even shorter. Like they may make a lot of money doing it, but you get hurt, it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? And then what's next? Everybody got to think about those things, like how you transition, like where you want to land.
Is this why you've decided to be independent for most of the things that you do, so you have that stability there versus, I guess, just relying on somebody else, right? For resources or what have you. Better for you to just go out, gather those resources, build those relationships yourself.
Look, I've had an opportunity to buy a lot of shit that didn't matter. It doesn't matter, right? Like you, at points, like that house that you have in your head, that really nice house, you need to buy it. And then when you get over it, you need to move to something else that's different that you can be comfortable in at the same time. But you do need to have the experience. You see what I'm saying? Like it's still, it's living. Bro, we look good, we feel good. Look at the time you took to put on to pick what you picked to wear, right? So yeah, you should do it. Like and get it and feel good that day because you really look good. It's because the time is the most expensive thing we spend, bro, and you can't get it back. We're getting older. Life is shorter than usual. You see shit happening. People are. It's like we're on 10 out here. Like it's going up to a new level, and the things of value that were taught even on the ground level, like the hardest people in the roughest areas had an aspiration built into them. So it was about. They were that hard because they wanted to make it.
Right.
Now I see it's happening at a younger stage, so that there's no aspiration to make it. There's more. They want to mean something, and what will make them mean something in the environment is if they can connect to the violence.
Right.
It's there because that will immediately affect you. Like you see the young boys say. You ain't got no bodies.
Yeah.
See, now if he's around and he does have bodies, what does that do to his aura? It makes him someone of power when he comes around because he might be catching another one now. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta pay attention to him. You gotta at least have to respect what he's already done. You know, and this is why they go in that direction of doing that because I'm sitting myself. I go, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like what is like I'll go, nah, we don't rock with them. Why? They're my ops. And I'm like, but why? What happened? Nah.
Right.
They think I'm trying to ask. I'm not trying to resolve it. I don't care. If you got an issue, but what is the issue?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And I'm going, when they can't tell me what the issue is, it's because that was filtered. They were told this is our art from someone else. They told us they don't know. It just that part was given to them. They don't know. They can't explain it to me exactly. Like, and from there I'm going, oh, okay. And then when you start, once it sits around long enough, that's happening on the other side because it is happening on the other side of it.
Seems like it's. Seems like just an absence of purpose, of meaning. You know, for you when you first got into music, Get Rich or Die Trying, there was all these themes of like I'm here and just gotta make it. Trey Songz, right? There was that. Versus now it's just like you said, op is the op. That's it. The reason doesn't matter.
My first album title was Power of a Dollar. And then you go from that, you go through life-threatening situations, it becomes Get Rich or Die Trying. But it is very consistent. You see what I'm saying? And it's because I come from people, they hustled. They all wanted to make it. That's what made it make sense to participate, not have it. When you're around and you're like, I ain't got nothing, and you're going, I want to make it. I want to make it too. Right? That's my goal too. And then you can kind of get into what's happening into the environment because those are the things that run. And the other stuff is still there, the violence and things. But we have people that are naturally that. You know, and so those things, their value is going to make their value. And even the success, when the artist becomes successful coming out of that environment, you're going to have people around him that he feels secure about being around because you know that when they're traveling these different neighborhoods and these different areas, that there may be something there, but he knows that this person right here will do it regardless to what So they bring that person. And without acknowledging it, that person needs them to have altercations for them to need them to be around.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So you just brought what you had in the environment with you. That is what is going to potentially bring you down. So look, so a lot of the young talent, when I'm talking to them, when I say that to them, they go, so he's saying it's going to be me that brings me down. Yeah, if you don't adjust, if you don't receive the information and internalize it, and really make the right decisions as you move forward, you are. It is limited time on that. There'll be opportunities for you to be derailed completely or come from the people that you came with. You know, and it's just the way they were brought into that circle of things as it took off, because they don't really have, why would you need them? They need you to have an issue, so you need them to be there so they can.
That's how they add their value.
Right.
That's how they stay on the payroll.
It's, you know, and it's, that goes on. It's just, and these are things that no one's exempt to it. Like I don't care who it is. When they're picking someone who they trust at some point. Like they may not even have management, nothing. Like they just took this kid's beat from YouTube, paid him, did their thing and put it on iTunes and this and it's working.
Mm-hmm.
The song's working and they called me, they want me to perform at this nightclub over here. So my auntie's gonna get the first half. And she gonna get the second half before I go on. Because she not gonna take the money from. And that might work until it's a lot of those shows, because auntie, you know how it is doing business with your family. You might not want to do that. Right? But they'll pick anybody around them they trust at that point, because they don't have there's no structure. If you look around, there's no groups.
Right.
In hip hop, the only thing, Migos? That's it? Yeah, it's because there's no. If it's artist development, some of these guys would sound better as a team.
Right.
The contrast of the two of them next to each other, it'll be your Mobb Deep or your MOP, that version of music, repeating itself. But there's, like, when I miss a lot of stuff that's going on in hip hop, I don't, the small parts, the things that are happening when they're growing and coming into being the new guy. Because like the buzz, I'm not following each kid in the very beginning. But I do miss more, like the R&B music.
Right.
Where's that at? Like, I don't see that at all.
It's all taken. You told me this once before too, that it's almost getting eroded away, and now you have an artist like Drake, right?
Yeah,
Who he's kind of doing
the only one that you can get that from.
Right.
Like on the highest level, you can get it, that's what it would make Drake more important in this period.
Versus, I mean, you contrast that with the music from, the 70s. The groups were so prominent. The soul, and even before that, Temptations and all sorts of these groups.
Because there's no one putting them together and making them be a group. Those guys are all solo artists. They're all separately making an effort to do something instead of being flown in to put him with him and to build this group that's going to really mean something.
Do you think like the Justin Timberlakes or the Beyoncés, whose origins were in groups, but then
they sprouted,
right? Do you think that's influenced the erosion of the groups at all too, or it's?
Well, I think that was natural. I think always there's someone that's there that could creatively look. Both of them were the heads of those groups. You see what I'm saying? So it was just a creative adjustment. And the support that she would receive or he would receive would still be there. Because if they decide to make that, like when you see the new tour, how much production value is on Beyonce's tour?
Oh, I didn't see that, but I'm sure it's
serious. It's really good. Like there's a different you don't miss the two other females being there with the record. Like it feels like it's just hit music. Like cause I look whenever they start one way. Like I was on Columbia Records, so like I was watching Beyonce's early career, not by choice. It was just in your face, like it was in the building, like so it was right there. And then with Destiny's Child in the early stages, you see, yeah, it's a group, it's a thing, and then when she blossoms out of it, it turns into something that's even crazier. Like you can't really contest this. It is what it is, you know. Like and then Justin is well a male version of that. You know, because look, you got other guys in the group. Even if they weren't as visibly talented in that way, they could have done more damage away from him than like on the other side, other things, and been in culture where we saw him. You know, so I mean, it's an adjustment. Like a lot of times when artists don't, things don't go exactly the way they want, or if you ask them what happened, they go, "It was the label." You know, like that is the answer. So for me, what I get a lot of times is yeah, because I'm an individual that they can look at as the label. It was 50 instead of the label. Like, you know what I'm saying? But that's the same thing. It's really when the creative person is not doing what they need to sustain themselves within culture and being active in different ways. And then when their brand dwindles away or dies down based on that, they blame who they can. Oh, it was the label, but I'm the label by myself, so it becomes 50.
I can't think of any example with you where it's almost like being a victim is trendy now versus with you. It appears from the outside looking in like your default mode has been ownership. No matter what's happened to you, it seems you're just like, okay, this is on me. Like,
yeah, and look, my interest in money is being able to do what I want to do creatively. So, like, look, there's no African American in anywhere in film and television that has green light ability. Clear green light ability. You just say, here, for that to go. So when you look at producing a hit is not enough. It's not enough for me. When I got one, I'm cringing to get the next one. Like I'm even look while Power's working by itself, I go do the Oath on Sony Crackle, right? Just to have something else. And this one was you can see it online. Like, but I'm like, no, I gotta get something else. And when I do that, I produced the Oath at like a Tyler Perry price point. It wasn't like a premium $1 million episode type thing, right? And it's just because I needed something else there. So it's, if not, you a one-hit wonder. You know how many one-hit wonders we got music culture? That I'm scared of that shit. You got one hit, I'm like, oh no, I need something else, bro. Or I got one and that's it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I went through that process and I put that one up and it was the highest rated thing on Sony at the time. So you go, Power is happening here, the highest rated show on Sony. They go, okay, nah, this is real. It's gonna be a lot more from him, not just that one effort. You know what I'm saying? And it's because, look, the only reason why Pimp want more than one hoe is because one hoe is so close to no hoes. Even in that world, right? like he wants more around because it will be you're left with nothing. Because the police picked up your one prostitute.
now you're out of business. Now you're stuck.
You're out of business till you can get out of jail.
It seems like there's just this ongoing process where you have to, I guess you have to just prove something to yourself in a way, right?
That's it. Look, well, for me, you could look at it like I'm proving it to myself, but I know I can do it. I'm kind of crazy like that. Like I can convince myself what I'm doing next, and I'm doing it.
Right.
Like, and once it's in my head like that way, I can really embrace how really is what are my obstacles? What are going to be in front of me? What's going to be difficult for me to get around? And what do I do about that when I get there? So I can start assessing that because once I say I'm doing it, I'm doing it. And then like when you said the things that symbolize success to me in the very beginning, I've had all of them. You see what I'm saying? So it's like every car, every item that I could pick house, or you want a beach house? You want a house that's just by a lake? Maybe, like, you know what I mean? Like different things, like I did all that. So when you have these things and you go, okay, man, you can have 55,000 square foot, 37 bathrooms, 6 kitchens, right? And you're gonna still sleep on one bed. You know, does an entertainment places. So if you're not in that mode where you want to bring that many people around for you to entertain them, then you're not good. Look, when I look at real estate, I look at the more you spend on the property, what you get is your entrance. It's supposed to be so amazing that it's breathtaking, right? But the rooms, if the rooms in the house are too big, you're not gonna like the house. You're gonna get the same room in those spaces when you get to the rooms. So when you look down the hallway in your house and you don't want to go down there, because it's like down the block from where you would be in your regular life, like before any of this stuff took off, you look and you go, and you're on the intercom, you're calling people on the intercom instead of going over there. Like these are the real things, the adjustments, that shit is happening, and I'm looking, I'm like, yo, why did I buy this shit? Like,
This sounds like an actual experience you had.
This is real life, bro. Like I'm looking, going, what the fuck made me to buy this shit? And I'm like, it doesn't matter. And then I'm like, rather go into a condo than the big house at the time. 'Cause I didn't have. Look, if I had Nick Cannon's 12 kids and shit like that, then you could put them all in the bedroom. Everybody's here. It would mean putting everybody together, then it would make sense. But I'm not gonna have kids like that. I don't want the responsibility of that many women that you got to deal with emotionally, especially after they don't feel like your friend anymore. You know what I mean? Like it's too much to kind of. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with Nick Cannon. You know what I mean? Like this shit is just different, right? See, look, I have to work on that part right there, right? Like when it slips out, like, because that is the old 50 Cent. I am the new 50. Yeah, you know, I owe him that because he said something about me. He said I was, what did he say? He said in one of his little shows and shit.
What else? What are some other examples like the house that you found that you realized as the success came? Like, why did I want this, or why am I here?
Yeah, like a yacht, right? Yacht, to me, when I look at the yacht, it's beautiful. In the water on a day when you can go out and go get on it. But the final lap tour, I had 93 days, right? I'm gonna be off moving around so much that the yacht turns into a hole. It turns into a hole in the water that you just could keep throwing money in. Because you don't even have time to get on it. And it's just sitting there, and it's probably gonna look like it's damaged or weathered after it's been in the water and then taken out of the water. So they gotta do maintenance to clean shit off of it that was floating around it. And it's just gonna create an expense that if you didn't have the expenses within lifestyle, that wouldn't make sense. Like with all of that touring and stuff like that, if I decide I'm not gonna be on a bus, I'm gonna fly private everywhere I go. If it makes less wear and tear on me because I'm going to 93 different territories, yeah, I don't care about the expense. When you look at the bill, your income, when you look at what you spend, and the IRS is there. Because boy, oh boy, I'd like to be him just for a little while. Uncle Sam, let me be him for a couple days. Because you know how I be saying I want my money by Monday?
Yep.
He want his at 12 o'clock sharp. the big dogs are waiting. He's looking for the big ones like, yeah, you can, at 12 o'clock sharp, I want that money. So, you know, and they got that team of people that live in the gray area. You know, they got their own, the IRS has lawyers that work for them. So they're there to argue with you until you decide to just give them the money. So, When I said the gray area is because right and wrong doesn't matter, it's what can you prove? And how can you word it the right way within the system? Because you can get a judge to look and have their own personal judgment. You can't block yourself from being who you are. We got a system, it's not a bad system, it's just, it works as good as the people that we have involved. You know, so when we don't have good people involved, it doesn't work out. Law enforcement, district attorney's office, no matter which layer of it we talking about, this is America, baby. They follow, look, I travel everywhere in the world because I have success in America. In music, when you win here, you win the world. They follow us. Dubai is Las Vegas. They made that. What we look at, when you see that, that's there because of Las Vegas.